Good evening and welcome to yet another episode of Uncommentary, where we share our common and uncommon opinions about the day's play that has happened today between India and England. With me today, I have a very special guest. Now, you must have heard about Bharat Army. With me is Pratik, the core member of Bharat Army here in Australia, from Sydney. Hello, Pratik. How's it going?
Hello, Devang. Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. It is wonderful to have you amongst us. First, last 2 days of the second test match at Chennai, it's been India all the way. Pratik, your thoughts, please.
That's very true. So India all the way. Let's celebrate some milestones, what our Indian cricketers have achieved today. So Ashwin got 5 for again. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Is one of the legends. And if you see his numbers, he has taken more wickets of left-hand batsmen compared to any other bowlers in the world. So
yeah,
that's fantastic. Second milestone is for Mohammad Siraj. What a way to start in India. He got wicket on his very first ball. So that's fantastic. And third milestone is Rishabh Pant has actually silenced all his critics because he's taken 2 sensational catches. So from today, he's not only batsman, but a fantastic wicketkeeper as well. And according to current wicketkeepers pool, he's of course is going to be known as a very good glowsman in India.
Absolutely. You can't deny that he's one of the best of the lot that India has. Pitch turning from the very first day and today's second day, it continued doing the same. What do you make of this?
Look, what I make of this is it's a coin toss game. Whoever wins the toss wins the game. So it would have been interesting if England won the toss, if they would have batted, what would have been the result. So
true.
Would that be, we would be happy discussing about this right now or sad. So that's something what actually is haunting my mind, to be very honest, because creating a pitch like this, which supports one particular team, that's something not that fair. That's my personal opinion. And because it's ranked earner right from very first day. So, and if you see Rohit Sharma played well in first innings, so that's he himself scored 161 and England scored 134. So that shows that how attacking and how devastating he could be for opponents. So that's about the pitch. But personally, I feel that it should be even. So both the teams can get advantage. How the contest was played here in Australia. That's how the pitch should be. Both if you see, all the sessions were clearly won by India. That's a bit about the pitch. I hope next 2 test match would be a bit interesting and not that whoever wins the toss wins the game. It should not be like that.
Yeah, true. Now, very fair points that you've made. I would like to add a few observations that I made as well. Now, when you look at both the team compositions, we've discussed this in the past in our previous episodes, where we compared man to man. So in this game, we have Moeen Ali and Jack Leach as compared to Ashwin, Akshay Patel, and Kuldeep. Now, you can't compare exactly to somebody like Ashwin. He's by far the most superior spinners in the world, and he's soon approaching his new milestone of 400 wickets, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. He might achieve it in this game itself before Nathan Lyon, actually. If not this game, maybe next game, this series.
Yeah, this series,
Yeah. Now, so England do have there a lot of spinners. However, they'll have to put in, like a Herculean task to get people like Ajinkya Rahane, Virat Kohli, and Rohit Sharma out. Now, considering the fact that Rohit Sharma and Ajinkya Rahane were the star performers in the first innings, Rohit Sharma is not done yet. He's still continuing from where he left in the first innings.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, one thing that actually made a huge difference in this game, and I'm sure you would have enjoyed this, there's something which is close to your heart, is the crowd in the stadium. How lovely was it to see, to finally get people back in the stadium? Isn't it heartening that this is the base of Indian cricket? Not just Indian cricket, in fact, cricket anywhere, sport anywhere. And we were robbing, unfortunately, people to experience that live from the stadium. You happy now that the game is back, slowly getting back on track?
Absolutely. So being a core member of Bharat Army, we always think the crowd should be there in the stadium. Of course, due to COVID, there were restrictions, and also safety is first for everyone. However, now when crowd is back, if you see how Virat Kohli was animated on the field, he was cheering the crowd. He was asking them to cheer more. That was just unreal.
Absolutely.
So even crowd enjoyed. So it's a different feeling where you are at the stadium. You cheer for the country. You support, and that energy rubs off them as well, so they can feel that as well. And if you see a lot of players in their books, when they've written their books about themselves and how they were playing, they have written a lot about crowd. So of course crowd is very important, and it's slowly we are getting back to normal, and I hope one day there would not be any restrictions, and just within vaccine has come, so just within short time, in few months, I hope that they have full capacity.
Fingers crossed. Absolutely. Now, talking about your role in Bharat Army, tell us something about your fascinating journey, how you got into this, and our viewers, if they want to join you, how they can, and what are the resources, what are the different material they can get access to, and how they can connect to you.
So look, Bharat Army's been since last almost 21 years. It started with 4 friends in UK, and Rakesh Patel is head of Bharat Army all over the world. So if you see, you've seen supporters at the ground as well, Chennai ground. They showed quite a few times on the TV. So that's how they started. They started watching cricket matches at the stadium, and then they started this group, Bharat Army. We are 12th men of Indian team. How my journey started is a perfect example of someone who would actually like to join Bharat Army, because I was going to watch cricket matches at different stadiums. So back in 2018, when India came to play here, I used to go to I went to Melbourne to watch the match. I went to Sydney to watch few matches, but I was not part of Bharat Army, and I always used to see how they used to cheer, and they got a lot of energy, and they came up with nice new songs as well. And if you see, when the Indian team won, they all danced with Indian team after Sydney match, when they won in Australia. So Virat Kohli, Hardik Pandya, Ishan Sharma, they all dance with the group. So I was watching the videos, and then happened to know that my very good my school friend is actually country head, Kunal Gandhi's country had, and Kunal and Ajay as well. He's head of Bharat Army in Melbourne. So yeah, so I met Kunal, and then we had a chat, and then happened to support Indian team, went to watch few matches, and then he saw my passion, and then uh, we got along well, and that's how it all started. So yeah, being core member of Bharat Army in Sydney, it's just I think it's a blessing. It's not, of course, it's all unconditional support what we give. Of course, it's not something what we support to earn money, or it's just pure hobby. And this time I went to Adelaide to watch the match. It was a bit unfortunate for India actually to lose. However, that was a wake up call, and we did
the big
support the
wake up
Indian
call
team.
match.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, if you Google Bharat Army, there's a link there online, and you can register, join Bharat Army, become a member. And then once you become a member, you get exclusive link. So if India is coming in, and then when they put the tickets on, Bharat Army has got their own section where they will release the tickets, and they can sit with Bharat Army group and support Team India. And Kunal has got so Bharat Army has got Cricket Australia's relationship manager who would talk to them and support them with. Due to COVID, we had some restrictions, but still we managed to get good number of tickets as well. So and it's for everyone. Everyone is welcome with open arms. To join, and and they get this exclusive tickets. And also what they get is, when they come to the stadium, they get free t-shirts, plus they get they happen to cheer with us, so they can have this Indian flags and Bharat Army flags, and it's all exciting.
Absolutely amazing. And I've seen some electrifying moments, and some really crazy atmosphere that is created when the Bharat Army fans are in the stadium. They're cheering all the time, regardless if the team is down, they're cheering to bring the team morale up. And it actually rubs on you as well. So I am somebody who watches the game very quietly, but then when I come in contact with Bharat Army, even though they are in far off section, I see their energy, and I, along with my friends, I'm like, come on, let's start cheering up the team. So that's actually a very good point that you made. And again, the Bharat Army, I would say, is like a representation of terminology Bharat, which is all inclusive for everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned that we have energy, so we have a professional drummer. His name is Deva, who lives in Adelaide. This time drums were not allowed, but if you see, he travels to all the matches here in Australia. He traveled last year, traveled to New Zealand. So and he's a professional drummer. So next time when India comes here, it's going to be fun, because I think that there won't be any COVID issues at that time with how vaccine and everything is going. So can't wait for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I used to be a part of the North Stand group. You might have heard of Wankhede Stadium.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I'm not a member, but then I used to be, like sit with them whenever there was a match in Mumbai. I used to go and watch it in the stadium. And the North Stand is very notorious to make all kinds of slogans and have a bit of a fun, just like the local Australian fans are. So, but at the end of the day, it's the fans who make the game of cricket so huge, and make it cricket what it is.
Exactly. So slogans like that, we come up with songs. Even if you see Shubman Gill happen to put on his Twitter that, ye bhi sahi hai. And then underneath it was Bharat Army's thing that 10 rupees ki Pepsi, Shubman Gill sexy. So, and he said, ye bhi sahi hai, so he was happy with that, so yeah.
Nice. Pratik just told you how you can join. I'll also share with you the link for anybody who wishes to join Bharat Army, and where you can take membership, buy some merch. So lots of activities that you can do with Bharat Army when they are watching a match in a stadium. Speaking of watching a match in the stadium, when all the results that have happened so far during the COVID times, I'm sure you also agree, some of them would have been totally different had there been crowds in the stadium.
Oh yeah, definitely. If you see in Sydney, there was a lot of restrictions. Hardly there was, the capacity is 42,000, and hardly, between 8 to 10,000.
Yeah, 1/3, I believe.
Capacity was 12,500.
Yeah.
What they happen to say, but still, if the stadium was full, would have been, might have been a bit different results. So I read somewhere as well that Barmy Army, there were 6 of them came from all over different parts of India, and they were sitting, and they took they were sitting, and they took a lot of care about safety. When they flew as well, they flew with PPE kit, and they took a lot of care. And I was reading that, and it was only 6 of them, but they were cheering, and they had this Barmy Army flag. So of course, even if they're 6, still England players can still feel that energy, when they are cheering up, and when they are loud. So hats off to them as well.
Things we do for love, and for our love for this wonderful game of cricket.
Definitely. Look, again, it's not a national game of India, but it's a national craze. It's a national craze.
Yes. Yeah, true. I tried to contact Narayanan when he was back in the stadium, but the atmosphere was absolutely electrifying. Hello
guys, I don't know whether you can hear me, but this is Uncommentary live from the Chapok on day 2. Ishan just dismisses Jack Leach, and even these 50% spectators are getting the roof down. It's quite an experience. Punk with another beauty of a catch, and the stadium is going bonkers.
How about Akshar Patel getting his first wicket of Joe Root? Sorry, I didn't mention that as one of the milestones. But again, what a ball! What a player! I mean, he got his test cap, and again he took because Joe Root could have changed the game as well. How he played in Sri Lanka. He can anchor the innings.
Well.
Exactly, he can anchor the innings, and he can take the game away. He got out, which was really a good blessing for India.
Yeah, true. And he'll remember this moment forever, that he got one of the top 3 batsmen of the current era out, and that was his first wicket. He can cherish that moment forever.
Exactly, and it was a deceiving ball, so it was a bit had a good flight, and Joe Root didn't anticipate that it will bounce a bit, and then played sweep shot. So
and to the crowd's delight, I wanted to mention this earlier. The local hero Ashwin, 5 wickets. And one of them was a beauty of Ben Stokes, the classic off-spinner's delivery, where it pitches on the stump and takes the off-stump on the way?
I think Ben Stokes didn't even know what happened.
Yeah, absolutely. He was, he was foxed.
It's one thing which Ashwin needs to actually focus on is actually not to burn all the reviews. He happened to pursue Virat Kohli a few times, and again, then it's, of course, all the bowlers will feel it's out, but the question is, I know it's only 15 seconds, but why not other members of leadership team, they are having input? So is Virat Kohli asking Rohit Sharma? Is he asking Rane? Is he asking Pant? That's something what needs to be changed.
At one point, I could see Ajinkya Rane really getting restless, which is very unlikely of Rane. There was an appeal that Ashwin made, and he was just glancing at Virat Kohli. And Ajinkya Rane, you could hear him shout from the stump mic, "Nahi hai, nahi hai." So he wanted to stop them from going for yet another failed review.
Yeah. So again, that's the thing is, that's good. So that he wants to be loud and clear so that he's heard. It's very challenging when you have 15 seconds. It's challenging. Plus, there are 3 reviews, so they might take a bit of advantage of just going because they are having 3 reviews. But again, the game after COVID, it's going to be like 2 reviews. So you be careful if we qualify for finals. This is something what we have to be very careful of.
Yeah. Now, we don't want to think very much far ahead of us. I know, looking at your hoodie that you're wearing at the moment, it says winners. Yeah.
Yes.
And you would definitely want India to be in the finals. Yes, everybody would love to see India in the finals. But let's take one game at a time. And this game has seen, when you're talking about reviews, we have seen some controversial ones, both in the first innings and the second innings. And Joe Root was not very happy. You don't see Joe Root that animated or showing that much emotion when he's captaining his side, but he showed his displeasure.
Look, absolutely, that's so true. However, if you see yesterday, the third umpire did make mistake and gave England the review back. So again, it's
that was a fair call.
Now, this is all review, but come on, they are human as well, and they do mistakes as well.
And we always learn from it and move ahead.
Yeah, definitely. And with 15 wickets, how it's going, it's a high pressure situation for umpires as well. When you are playing test, and if you tell umpires, okay, today 15 wickets going to go, imagine their workload. They have that different pressure. So they still did really well.
Yeah, and especially with closing fielders, where you are literally appealing every second ball, it does take a toll on them. And what we would generally say is get them some slack.
Yeah. Look, definitely.
Right. Okay. And
hi Devan. Hi Pratik.
Oh, we finally.
Hello. Hi Naran. How are you?
All good. Sorry, I think there's a lot of background noise, but I'm returning home from the stadium.
Not a problem.
Nice. Awesome. Welcome, Narayanan, to the show. We might hear some background noise, viewers. Please, apologies from our end. But what we'll do is we'll try and incorporate some questions now. That's where we are moving to our question section now. Our first question is to Narayanan, in fact. Narayanan, what would England have to do as a counter-attack against India moving to day 3?
Hi. Thanks for the question, Dave. I think it's pretty much...
Sorry, by the way, that question is from my friend Harish Eswani.
Okay. Thanks for the question, Harish. I think it's pretty much sorted that they have to get India out cheaply, not allow them to score another 200 plus kind of innings in the second innings, because the lead is already about 250, I think, around about there, and we still have 9 wickets in hand. Yes, 15 wickets fell today, but that should not be counted as something that could look at how the pitch would behave on day three. I still think if you get your eye, I know you'll have to grit it out. It's not an easy wicket to bat on, but it's still not as bad a wicket as what you would say something that happened in Wankhede, which between India and Australia with Clark and Karthik picking up 6 each, I think, wrapping up within 2 days. But it's still a reasonably good strong wicket. Even though the odd puffs which is coming off the wicket, but it's not turning square. I think England need to completely attack now and not let India off the.
Right. So there you go, Harish. Hope that answers your question. And moving on to our second question. This again was posted jointly by Piyush, Vidya, and Harish. All three of them are my friends from my previous workplace where we were together. Now, their question. Yeah, Pratik, the next question is jointly by Harish, Vinay, and Piyush.
Yeah.
Their question is about the rotation policy of England. Now, I have my views on it, but I wanted to get your opinion on what do you think about the rotation policy, considering the fact that this is a very crucial match that could change the direction of the series as well as the Test Championship.
I think it's a very good strategy to have, especially you have to now uh, reduce the workload of the pitch as well as test your bench strength and not just look at the bench strength only when the main people are kind of not available. So it's a very good rotational policy. But then the rotational policy should not hamper with the set pattern of what you actually want as a team, in spite of that being kind of decided. So it's kind of a 50-50 area, but it's a very good strategy to have. But to know the success of that, well, only time will tell.
Yeah. According to me, Narayanan, the approach that the English team have is very clear. They want to make sure that the bubble that they've set in during the COVID times for their team, they want to make sure that their team is healthy and fit, not just physically, but psychologically and mentally as well. So that is what they're trying to achieve. And people can go on and on about retaining the players, but imagine the burnout that this situation causes. And Jofra Archer was very, very straightforward in his comment that he posted. He said, if you've never been in a bubble, you will not understand what we go through as sportsmen traveling during COVID times. So there is the answer for you guys. I hope now that we've shared this opinion, that brings us some light and understand what goes on in the dressing room as well. Okay.
Yeah. And it's not. You could see what he relates to, especially when all these national level lockdowns happened all through last year, wherein companies told the employees to just remain confined within the four walls unless it's for something emergency or critical. Don't step out, and after a while, it does get to you. It's not that easy to be confined and just look at uh, watching all these online programs all day and even work. So I can understand and relate to what Jofra says. Yeah, it's kind of tough, and it is, and especially when you're traveling as well. It's not as easy as for a player to even step out of his room or walk around to the lobby or use the pool, because it's not that simple as what it was.
Can't even use the gym. Yep. So they have to remain confined in that small hotel room, and they have to do all their gymming, their treadmills. They can't go out, just like everybody else who is in a lockdown. But this one is where they are in somewhere else. They are not at their home. They're not with their family, because not every tour has the permission of family members traveling with them. So yes, it is a very challenging situation, and hope people understand. This is why England is going through that rotation policy. In fact, Aaron Finch also was of the opinion that the Australian cricket team should also follow this rotation policy. He kind of liked this idea of having that rotation policy. And if you remember in the past years, with Steve Waugh's Invincibles, they had two teams and two captains, one for tests and one for one days.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you look at even the Indian squad which toured Australia, we didn't have a mental conditioning coach as well, along with the team. And for a team that has suffered so many injuries, and you never knew who would be a playing level. You just have to maybe wake up one odd day and you're there in the test 11. And that's what happened for T. Natarajan, Sundar, as well as Siraj. And to not have a mental conditioning coach, and it's just your team bonding which got them through. And that is evident now, because not every team should not be without a mental conditioning coach. But that's one critical post that I think the boards and the players would look at moving forward.
Couldn't agree more.
Devang, I have one question for you. What do you think India's squad for the next two tests would be? Would they pretty much retain the same squad, or would you find a few players moving out and a few coming in? Out of that 15 that they had announced for the first two tests.
Yeah. So if we go back to what we were discussing yesterday with Saurabh and Nakul, where we spoke about possibility of having three seamers for the day-night test match, where Siraj, Ishan Sharma and Jasprit Bumrah, all three would play. But I don't see a team India, where we don't have two spinners in India. So only the pitch will tell. So the Motera track only. And just before we go, any final thoughts for tomorrow? Any anticipation? I know you're looking forward for India to wrap it up tomorrow itself, take all the 10 wickets in the second innings, but any particular person to watch out for?
Well, look, Rohit again. He's a hitman. He plays on a different pitch, and he will do well. And one particular person to watch out for would be King Kohli, because beginnings is due. But again, the question is whether it's needed right now or not, because we already have upper hand. As your friend mentioned that we are 250. We have had 250 runs lead. So
true. So a couple of players from your side. Narayanan, anybody you're looking forward to is someone who would be the person to watch out for?
I'm putting my money on Pujara to come big. He is, that 72 was unfortunate, but yes. But I want him to score and come back to his daddy hundreds and kiddie hundreds and whatnot. But it's been a while since you've seen Pujara grit it out, and I think today was a good sign how we approached, even though it was the later part of the day. With Rohit, he always gives the opposition one odd chance here and there. It's just a matter of whether you grab it. So even today, that stumping chance which was including Gill also stepping out, miscuing a couple, but Virat had come after the end of day's play and was going through a few throwdowns. But I'm putting my money on Pujara to come big tomorrow. I expect India to not get all out tomorrow. I want the lead to be somewhere around 450, 475, 500, and they give England a good 2 whole days to pick all the 10 wickets.
So what that means is it still is a very good wicket to bat on.
Yeah. If you really apply yourselves with no time, when you have plenty of time actually, you just like play it by the delivery. I think the way Ben Fox also applied himself, it showed, right? If you go with a premeditated game plan or a premeditated shot, you're eventually going to get caught out. So you have to approach each delivery and each session individually and not go in with a premeditated plan. I think that is the only way to survive tomorrow.
Spot on.
One small question, Dave, if I can ask Pratik.
Yes.
Yeah, hi Pratik. One of my friends, Abhishek, had pointed out and wanted to ask this question. I just kind of recalled through this entire day was what changed between the first test and the second test?
What changed as like in Indian
India's
team?
performance. Yeah, India's performance between the first test and the second test.
Well, look, I think winning toss was a big change. Kohli's luck shined this time. Second is again we got Siraj. So that's he brings a lot of good energy.
Yes.
When he was bowling his first over, I was actually I took some food on my plate, and I was just messaging my friend that this over he's going to take a wicket.
And
before before I messaged, he took wicket on his very first ball. So
before you could hit send. Before you could hit send, he actually sent the batsman back to the pavilion.
Exactly. So I think those were the things what changed, and you could clearly see what's the result. And Rohit Sharma, playing his attacking, his natural game is playing attacking. In Brisbane here, if you see on last day, he was a bit double-minded. If he would have gone with his natural attacking game, we would have finished the game before me, to be very honest. But he had a bit of pressure and he got out early. But again, you see, no one else played well. I mean, of course, Rane contributed, but Hitman is just on different level, different league. He made it look so easy, and he did so well. So yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
hope that answers your question.
Front foot Hoik 6 later. Just earlier today.
Yep, true.
Yeah.
All right.
And we've got a visiting member in your show as well. Meet Freddie.
Oh, Freddie. Hey.
Hi, Freddie.
He watches all the matches with me, and he sits with me during IPL time. He wakes up at 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock, all odd times, and he sits with me, and he gets excited as well because he can see that I get excited. So yeah.
And on that note, guys, any questions, anything before we wrap it up today? All good?
All good.
India should blast out the entire day 4 tomorrow. Sorry, day 3. I'm losing the number of days.
All right.
Look, okay. I will tell you Pujara's innings. It will be to watch out for in Ahmedabad. Because it's his local
area,
not local ground, but of course local he's area. From Gujarat. He's from Saurashtra, but he has played a lot in Ahmedabad.
Yes.
And it's a new stadium, and can't wait to start the match there because the capacity. It's one of the largest. It's a new stadium.
In fact, the largest, I believe, 110,000.
110 largest in the entire world. So it's going to be quite exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a 50% crowd as well, it will be 54,000. That's more than
that's huge
in full capacity.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, guys. We can always go on and on about cricket, but at this point, we will take a break, take a pause, and come back with more exciting stuff to share with everybody tomorrow after end of day's play. And I thank you, Narayanan, to be able to make it to this session today. And Pratik, thank you very much again, one more time. It'll be great if we can do this collab again and again.
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye,
Pratik.
Sunny.
Bye.
All right. Bye, guys. Thank you.